Jerry Duggan and Pepe Larraz continue the mutants' heroic adventures as the High Evolutionary arrives on Earth with a threatening gift, but the X-Men aim to make sure the villain's plans to wipe humanity from the face of the Earth don't succeed. Jerry Duggan continues his game world, super heroic X-Men storyline as he taps into some older Avengers related storylines when reintroducing the High Evolutionary and his daughter as major threats for the X-Men this issue. I really enjoyed we got equal parts explosive grand scale action along with the heroes using their minds and knowledge to get the best of the villains. Duggan also referencing Rogue's former run-ins with the High Evolutionary and his daughter were really great and a great use of continuity, and I like that they continued that sort of part of the story with Sync, and also tying it back into the whole game world storyline while they're at it, setting up the team for a cosmic adventure, and one that looks to maybe split the team into two X-Men teams, one dealing with Earth stuff and the other one going out into space to deal with Cordyceps Jones and all his stuff on Game World. The highlight for me though was the ending pages with Ben Urich's storyline continuing with him pretty much blowing the lid on mutant resurrection and learning all about it from the mysterious Dr. Stasis. I'm really liking that Ben Urich is a main character here in an X-Men book, and I'm looking forward to seeing the storyline taking front and center at some point soon, since the world learning about mutant resurrections and how mutants have sort of cheated death in a way is kind of a big thing, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to be happy that they have been keeping that from their world at large. Pepe Larraz again delivers just wonderfully colourful and dynamic action artwork with some more fantastic alien designs like a Tesla elephant and all the weird and wonderful genetic creations of the High Evolutionary, as well as his version of the High Evolutionary, which is really sleek and cool looking, and he's all red, and I just love how he is meant to sort of look like this perfect being. And I like when he's first revealed, he's in the centre of the page, the dead centre of the page, and his focus is all on him. X-Men issue 3 was a fantastic tying together of a few of Jerry Duggan's and Pepe Larraz's storylines, getting ready to split the team up to deal with a few of the threats they face, while also building up a fantastic background arc for Ben Urich and what he has discovered about the mutants. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.
X-Men issue 3 finds the team confronting the arriving alien force in Vietnam, finding the High Evolutionary has arrived on Earth. The being says that he comes in peace and as a friend to commemorate Arakko as his animal servants tell the mutants to bow to their master. Cyclops knows that's not going to happen and they aren't on Arakko, and the being knows Arakko's creation has caused dominoes to begin to fall as he introduces his daughter Luminous, who offers the mutants the gift of the Nihility Sphere. Rogue knows that they don't want it, as the High Evolutionary reveals that the sphere will make the humans' final days on Earth at least pleasant, but if they reject it, the humans will starve as climate refugees, and the virus in the sphere will spread and sterilize humanity and wipe them all out. Rogue smashes the villain in the face, knowing that that man tortured and kidnapped her and he can take a beating, so they don't need to hold back. Polaris attacks Luminous as evolutionary guards are summoned, with the ship releasing monstrous elephants and bison and sharks on the X-Men. Cyclops telepathically directs the team on who to deal with as Jean traps the sphere with her powers, knowing that they need a plan if the virus hits the airwaves. Sync and Sunfire know they can burn it from the air as both mutants pour the heat onto High Evolutionary, melting him down, but the villain instantly regenerates, admiring their ambition in claiming one planet soon after taking another. He grabs Sunfire, wanting the mutant's power, throwing him into the air as Sync races to grab the unconscious Sunfire as Luminous breaks free from the mutants and comes for Jean. Polaris seals her in a shield, but the villain bursts from it, smashing Lorna in the face and throwing her into Rogue. Jean is surrounded by the Evolutionary Guard as Luminous is beaten by an overpowered and angry Sync, who is taking the woman's power and uses it against her. He demands High Evolutionary call off his attack or he will kill his daughter. The villain, however, simply takes Sync's powers back, knowing that he won't punish him too harshly. High Evolutionary says that he withdraws his gift and humanity will suffer, and he will forgive everything only if Sync gives up his blood. Wolverine knows that he can have all the blood he wants when he's standing over her dead body. Sync stops Laura, knowing that this has to end, so he will give up one drop, connecting with Laura and using one of her claws to draw a single drop of blood from his finger, which he flings at the villain, who catches it in his palm, telling him that he stole fire from the gods and lived to tell about it. Jean asks the villain who he meant about Arakko causing dominoes to fall. Jean shows a psychic image of Cordyceps Jones, who the villain knows very well, telling them that he is on Game World. As the villain leaves, Polaris knows that they will get the last lick as Rogue telepathically contacts Luminous, asking if she ever knew her father could just turn off her powers at will, angering the woman greatly. Sync asks if he made a mistake giving up his blood, but Cyclops knows that he saved many lives that day. He also knows that will come back to bite them in the ass, as they are welcomed by the local people to stay and eat with them. Later on, Jean tells Scott about the brief conversation he and High Evolutionary had about Game World in the telepathic realm. Scott doesn't trust him at all, but it's easy to believe, especially after Annihilation Waves and Mind Reavers attacking in retaliation for planet Araco. Jean thinks that they need to split the team for a while, wanting to go after Game World with Scott losing the game of rock, paper, scissors. Elsewhere, Henry Gyrich tells Fei Long that they will continue to go to Mars, but the villain knows that Henry thinks him a fool, and doing so will only get him killed. Henry wants to know why he's fueling his rockets then, so the Redskin man tells Gyrich that he's thinking too small, and if he survives, he gets a seat at the Orchis table, but if he fails, Gyrich will finally have his martyr. At Coney Island, Ben Urich is met by Dr. Stasis, who wants Ben to begin telling the truth like in the good old days, handing him a file on Cyclops' death. He notes how the autopsy isn't from that long ago, yet Ben met with Scott Summers just a few days ago. Stasis leaves, looking forward to Ben Urich's story about mutant resurrection.